Hello beautiful people. Today I want to talk about this nipple drinker, the setup and how it works. If I got a question from someone yesterday, he did a setup because he has been asking me how to run this nipple drinker setup just like what I've done. So I had to tell him to check out the YouTube video that I did. So but somehow the YouTube video that I did was not enough to give enough information on how the nipple drinker works. So the way this nipple drinker works is that if you do everything properly, the water comes in drop. So if you observe very well, look at how the water drops. So whenever you put the best heat on it, the water drops. You can see it here. I want to do a close view. When the heat on it, the water drops. So it's not like something that flows like a tap. It's when they tap on these nipples, the water gets to drop. So I'm just trying to use this opportunity to do a support for these chicks that had issues with the leg. So why these guys are rushing water now? The water on the little storage tank that I have got exhausted this early morning. So that's why there's quite a rush this morning on the nipple lines. So you can see they are all having a rush of water. So the water actually drops. So let me give you guys a quick breakdown on how this line is set up. So this is the first storage tank that I did when I did set up the nipple drinker. So I did the connection coming down to a bowl joint here that runs down to a half-inch pipe. It now connects to this other one. This one sounds like a connect between this one because this pipe is bigger than this one. This size is the size of the pipe that goes down here. So we do this connection to step it down, connect it through this, and we use this flex pipe. This is kind of a conventional pipe that is used by plumbers. So guys, if you're having challenge in running this nipple drinker setup, you just give me a call and do a video of your setup, and I'll be glad to attend to you. Like you can see here, this nipple has a cup, so when the water drops from the nipple, it drops on the cup so that the birds can also still take water from the cup too as well. So that's the advantage. So when you're running your nipple on the lines, make sure that they are all on a straight line. Let them be all on a straight line so that there's no bending of the cup. So that if there's a bending on the cup, there's every tendency that when the water drops on the cup, it might spill on the floor. So like if you can see very well there, this particular one looks a little bit bent. So if the water fills that cup, there's every tendency that it will spill on the floor. So that was like a kind of a mistake on my own end when I was doing this. So some of them were not on the same straight line. So it's ideal for you to run a straight line on the pipe first before you start drilling. So you make sure that all your holes are on the same line, so there is no bending of the nipples. So guys, thanks for watching this far, and I also encourage you to still check out my other videos and try implementing most of the facts that I've passed through on this platform, because it's going to help you a long way, because most of the things I talk about are things that I've experienced myself, and they have really helped my farming operation. Because when I started out, I was making lots of mistakes, despite the fact that I felt that I knew, but I was still making lots of mistakes. So that's why we learn every day. Even at this stage, I'm still learning, still doing some research, reading some articles, and learning from some top professionals too. So I will encourage you to learn, and not just learning for the fun of watching the videos. Get to also implement the informations I pass through on this platform. So one of the challenge of this period is that we are having a kind of a heat wave. So if you look the way this my pen is, the pen is not properly positioned in the terms of sunlight and how the poultry pen is supposed to be built. So as a fallout of that, when it is sunny, this end tends to be hot, especially when the sun is rising. So when the sun is setting, this place now becomes hot, so the birds tend to migrate from this end to this end more. So that's why initially this space here was quite small, but while the birds are growing, I had to now give more room in that area so that they can have proper ventilation. So ventilation is one of the things that affects the growth rate of your birds. So there are so many things that affect growth rate of birds. Ventilation is one of them. So when they have even flow of air, ventilation in the pen, it will help them a long way, because this time of the year heat stress is starts to play out. Most people have been calling me and complaining of CRD in your operation. So most times this CRD is being triggered by the heat in the pen, and especially when your pen is not aerated enough, so you start having some of this kind of challenge. So make sure that your poultry pen is aerated enough. Like a farmer was trying to rent out for some clients, the mistakes I saw there was obvious, that the people that built the pen were not experienced enough. The wall was really high. It was higher than this, up to this level, about twice of this, which is not good enough for a poultry pen, and that's going to affect the numbers of chicks that poultry pen can actually carry. So you need to make sure that you gather enough information before you start out in any business endeavor that you're embarking on. And even when you're started out, keep improving and keep learning, so that you don't make a continuous mistake. I read on the platform when some persons were complaining that someone with high BP cannot do poultry farm. That's a fallacy. That's a huge fallacy, because someone who with high BP can still do it, in as much as you know the ins and outs of it. Like my mentor Donald Trump will always say, for you to cut down on risks, you need to learn all there is about that business you're doing. So when you know all about the business you're doing, you're able to mitigate risk. So when risk arise, before it happens, anything bad happens, you already know what to do to mitigate around it. Like now, we are time of the year when the weather is quite hot. So like this pen, I'm not going to be doing full capacity for the next let's say for the next 6 months, because from early next year the weather is going to be hot. The weather will tend to be calm from May. That's how the weather is in this part of the country where we are, especially we in West Africa. So from December till April, the weather is usually harsh. So if you're running a poultry pen, they're supposed to carry about 200 birds. During the dry season, when the weather is hot, you have to reduce your stocking capacity so that the place will be ventilated enough for your birds. This poultry pen is supposed to carry about 110 birds comfortably, but I will not be doing more than 100 in this pen, especially when they are getting to big size. If at all I must stocking more, I'll make sure that I'll sell off most of them while they are still young. So thanks guys for watching this far, and I'll see you guys on the next video, when I will be talking about some other things to help your poultry farm business grow and grow bigger and better. Please like and subscribe to this channel to help grow the channel, so that the videos will get to reach out to more people too as well. So bye for now. Connecting water to your conventional WC and hand basin wash in your kitchen. So this is a simple flex pipe that you can get anywhere. So this now links to this into this 3/4 pipe that carries the nipples. So you can see here, this is another nipple drinker. So when you tap, the water flows out. So that's how these nipples actually work. So the way I did this setup, this was the first one that I did. I connected it down. I had a provision for a ball valve tap here, so that it can serve as a way to lock this line. So I terminated this line with the union here. So if I want to join another extended line, I can easily join it from here. So this is a union. This is another line. This line, I can actually disconnect it. This line, I did it to use with this booter. So, but the ending of the line there have not done the continuation. That's why I still use it with this other first line that I did. This other one, there was some mistakes there because it cannot be detached from there. But from the way I connected this one, I did it in such a way that it can be detached. Let me show you guys. This is the better way of doing it, so that I can easily detach it. So you can see here, the way I did this setup, I did this setup with the union here, so that I can easily detach the line from this booter tank. So why do I use booters like this? It serves as a mini storage, so that even if there's any leakage of any kind, because one of the things that the vet doctor that have been asking about here to get this nipple drinker told me was that one of the side effects of the nipple drinker is that if it leaks, it now floods water in the whole pen. So in order to curb that situation whereby if there's any leakage, water gets to spill everywhere and affect your beds, I use a mini storage tank like this instead of just running the water straight from my big tank. So I just use this mini storage water source, and this also makes it easy for me that I can mix my medications here, and after I'm done with the medication I can easily wash this container off, any sediment of medication. So guys, I use this union. There's a ball valve here. I can lock it and open it, and a union, so I can easily lose this from this end and attach it here. So after this badge I'm going to continue this line because I don't want to find myself in the stress where I am right now of using this small tank. Why I'm not using this one, because of I just needed that extension there, and these birds are much, the weather is quite hot, so I want to give them more nipples for them to be able to have more access to water easily. So guys, this nipple drinker has been a huge relief of stress for me in terms of always washing the drinkers and always making sure that water is always in the system. So what I do in the morning, I just top water on that little tank there, and in the evening what I do when I come back, I just top water. I noticed that the birds in here are not much. The birds here are less than 70, so the water in that tank usually serves them for at least 12 hours before I do some topping up. So guys, this setup is simple. Like I said, the water comes in drops. If you can see, so from the fellow that was asking me yesterday, so you can just notice it comes in drops because he was a bit concerned that the water wasn't coming out. So if the water isn't coming out, that's probably the slope from your tank is not enough, or if there's any bending, if there's a sharp bending. Then for instance, if this thing is bent too sharp, there's evidence that water will not flow out. So you need to make sure that your lines are sloping properly. And you see this line, even despite the fact that here is not, you can see even if here the slope isn't much, but because of the help of gravity that the tank is a bit high, so it now allows water to flow down to the other end. The other end is higher. The other end is higher than this place, but because of the help of gravity, the tank is higher, so it still allows water to flow down to that end there.